Well, you'll see how this goes. I came on, pajamas on, headphones on to record a podcast, and I'm recording it on Zoom. And here's the thoughts for the day. Well, hi, welcome back to Spiritual Shit Show. My name is Julie Wynn, and this is all of the thoughts and the babbles from me. Um, but I am sharing today. I always share what I'm going through because I feel like, one, I crave conversations, real, authentic, deep, transformative conversations. Two, I love kind of integrating deeper into what is this human suit? What are we doing? What am I doing? What is it for? What is the meaning of it all? And three, I'm really noticing that the more we have access to share our thoughts and stories, which I appreciate and love and live for, and I am over the really calculated, curated way from which we share information, stories, love, connection. And I've been really craving authenticity. So here I am in my pajamas and recording. Because to me, in this moment, and this can change, what I am currently working on and through is how can I deepen authenticity for me? And authenticity is such a bridge towards personal freedom. And what then can we access for ourselves when we really can embody personal freedom and a joy in experiencing a moment as is, that there doesn't need to be a lot of prep work to present a moment, and how beautiful a moment can be because it's the moment. And as I reflect upon what it is that the heart of who I am, is really craving, which is authenticity for self, for life, also to deepen how I can see and value and honor the authenticity of the moment that somebody else is currently experiencing, and joy to be alive, joy to be in this human form, joy to be able to embrace a really deep acceptance for what my soul has chosen to come in and to experience. Joy in the opportunities that are literally at my disposal every day, that I can find peace every day, whether that's going to the creek and listening to the water, or going outside for 10 minutes and watching and observing the change of a season, or having a really incredible heartfelt, which I think heartfelt conversations are so transformative. I am so honored for transformative experiences. So joy and authenticity are my words. And I have arrived here because of the work that I have done in my own healing journey, of having to go back into my childhood and be like, whoa, whoa, so much of who I am and how I have, like I like to say that I have a soul energetic blueprint, and then I have this human energetic blueprint. And the goal always is to stay closely tethered and in truth to the soul blueprint that is truth, and to really pay attention to when they both separate. And I have been living out here in this physical manifestation of belief systems, of family distortions, and then that integrated into two distortions about how I feel and think about myself, how I have blocked myself from receiving. Truly, it's like I'm seeing, I've always lived life up until this point with just like a film over everything. And actually, now I'm pausing. I had a session with a dear friend to kind of support me, and she was like, I'm seeing a film. Does that make sense? And I was like, yeah, 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 that makes sense. Now I'm actually, as I'm saying all of this, it makes sense. There has been a film over my life, and I can see the colors. But if I am now, all this work that I've been doing, I can pull that plastic film, and it's like, oh, now I can really see. I can see the truth of life. I can see the brilliance of the colors. I can finally, there is no film between me, my heart, and my life experiences. And where did that film get layered? A lot of it is life, life, life. I don't want to go into the rest of it right now. So I'm going to pause and breathe and share. Up until this point in my life, which I am now, I feel like I am about to start the second half of my life. And the first half has been oh, like a lot. And then the past 9 years, I have been really deep diving. I say I've been cleaning, my house, boxing things up. And now more and more and more of myself has been cleared or understood, or healed, or I have given enough time to begin to understand radical acceptance. Where the first half of my life, because of the story and the trauma and the experiences and the relationships, I was always kind of rattling in this fight or flight. And, I am outside of the world. I never felt a part of the world. I never felt like relationships could stick, that I was lovable, that anything that was good was actually deserving, all of the things, AKA complex PTSD. And now that a lot of that distortions, those works, those belief systems have been held, I am beginning to integrate slowly, and I always say safely, using the mantra just for today, I'm allowing more and more of myself to come online. And I am very aware of that space between how I was holding on to so much fear in my past. And it's like fear and freedom, fear and freedom, fear and freedom. And I am slowly able now to pull myself out from the fear and into the freedom, and the fear, especially of showing up like this and using my voice. And is because I was in a narcissistic relationship, that was, it was family. It was, oriented around family. And so when you have these relationships that are within the family unit, it feels like it's closer, and you begin to not trust yourself, your vision, your dreams, your voice, your choices, because they're always being gaslit. They're always, that person, that narcissist is always kind of working behind the scenes to dim your light. And I will say, in my healing journey, the what I label as a narcissist is really just somebody who has also shared a very traumatic life experience. And that doesn't mean to say that I wasn't receiving the ripple effect of that. Um, so there's a place for it all. But so much of my human blueprint, my energetic like was because every time in my past when I stepped into something that felt so beautifully authentic for me, then it was gaslit and named like, look at you, you're crazy, you're too much, you're whatever, all of those things. And coming out of that has been wild, 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 wild. And fear, freedom, fear, freedom, fear, freedom. Living in this family, I don't want to use the word entanglement because that reminds me of like Jada Pinkett Smith, but like it's all like it was just kind of intertwined um energies and having and holding a relationship with a family member as well, and experiencing day after day after day after day, you know, love bombing and gaslighting, love bombing and gaslighting. It really rocks your foundation. And I'll pause here. Welcome to the tangent. I remember, I think it was in 2020, and I had to go home and check on my dad. I live in Colorado. My dad lived at the time in Ohio. And I went home and I knew every time I'd go visit my dad, and my dad is a lovely person, but it was also always so triggering because one, I was doing it by myself. Two, it came along with all, it's like walking and back into the portal of family dynamics that is always a little triggering. And after I came back, plus I had to deal with his finances, plus again, I was doing it by myself. All like it was just so like staticky. And so I came back after my visit with my dad and trying to figure out finances and trying to get him to figure like what we're doing with him as he gets older. It was just a little bit of a shit show. Then when I came back, I was like, I have got to heal this part because that rattled my system for a week and I can't do that. So I sought out guidance from a monk, a teacher at the temple. And so I was so desperate. I was like, can you please, meet with me? I need spiritual guidance. I need to know, like, I can't do that again. Um, and so when I came, well, when I visited him for our meeting, without even knowing me, he sat down and he said, tell me about your childhood. And I was like, okay. So I told him the childhood story, a little bit of it. And he said, your problem isn't with what you think it is. It's your roots are broken. Your roots have been severed. And so you're trying to be a strong plant, but your roots are too weak. So we need to go back and we need to not even try to heal. You're going to be lifted up and we need to plant you in new soil so you can grow new and healthy roots. And I feel like now I have done enough healing work and it's not complete, but enough that I have been able to, or am in the process of seeing my own garden, to seeing this new soil that I have been planted in, where I can nourish my roots, where I can grow in my roots, where I can finally be anchored in to love, safety, acceptance, and more freedom over here and less fear that the soil that I was trying to grow in over here, it was toxic, like what was being fertilized was with toxic chemicals and created so I would never really grow. And over here, I have been replanted in a space where I can finally feel like I can really, really grow now. And the wild thing is I'm fucking 46 and I am just now figuring this out. And I always say I would do it over and over and over and over and over again because I have been such a seeker of spiritual context for my entire life. As a little girl, I prayed the rosary every single day. I went to church all the time. And I really do think that the wisdom is there, but you have to find the truth. You have to experience the truth. And then the understanding of the spiritual text of what you've done makes sense, that it can't be the other way. You can't read spiritual context and then have that. It's knowledge. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And wisdom comes from the lived experience of it. Knowledge comes from what you read in a book. Very different. And I have been acquiring knowledge for a really long time. And now I feel like I am able to integrate wisdom. And that's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Thanks for listening.